Four sages entered the Pardes, says the Talmud. Pardes literally means an orchard, in other words, a place of beauty. It also refers to the four levels or degrees of depth that a person can study Torah at. And in the context of this story, to enter the Pardes means to experience a very deep spiritual experience. Of the four sages, we're told that Ben Azai died. Ben Zoma went crazy. Elisha ben Avuya became a heretic. And only the famous Rabbi Akiva, Nichnas b'shalom v'yotza b'shalom, he entered the experience in peace, and he came out of the experience in peace. Now, what happened over there is you had four individuals who were trying to transcend their ordinary day-to-day life. They were trying to experience something which was beyond the norm, beyond what the human body is capable of understanding, even the human brain is capable of comprehending. And for three out of the four scholars, it was a disastrous experience, where essentially they could not reconcile the deep and powerful spirituality that they had tasted with ordinary day-to-day life. So in Ben Azai's case, he was so overwhelmed and so attracted to the spiritual light that he experienced that his soul went off in pursuit of that spirituality and had no way of returning to earth. He died. In Ben Zoma's case, he was so inspired by the spirituality, he didn't know how to reinterpret it into day-to-day life. And so he went on living with a heightened sense of spirituality and pretty much out of touch with reality. He went crazy. Elisha ben Avuya saw that the spirituality was so beyond anything that day-to-day life offers that he felt there was no point trying to pursue a spiritual experience here on earth, and so he gave up on his Jewish practice. Those three scholars, those three sages, were living in a four-dimensional reality. Four dimensions being a place of diversity, of divergence, and of conflict. In this case, the conflict of the spirit and the body, of materialism and spirituality, which they just simply could not reconcile. And so each of them had to make a call to either live totally invested in the spiritual or totally invested in the physical. Rabbi Akiva understood the fifth dimension. He understood that to go into any experience of personal growth has to be from a position of shalom, of peace, of harmonizing opposites, of putting contrasts together, of seeing beyond the superficial conflict and identifying the deep down essence that unites every single thing. So because Rabbi Akiva went into a spiritual experience with a notion of shalom, of this needs to bring peace, this needs to harmonize with my day-to-day life, that's why Yatza b'shalom, he came out with peace. In other words, there are all sorts of opportunities and paths of spirituality that are available in our world, but they generally are four-dimensional. They generally leave us with a sense of conflict. While I'm in the meditative state, I'm not a pragmatic person. While I'm engaged in chasing angels or high spiritual levels, I'm not doing my groceries. The Torah, we're told, was given in this world to bring peace to the world. Peace between heaven and earth. Peace between the physical and the spiritual. That's why the Torah was given with 5 voices to represent the fifth dimension of life. That which is beyond the details, beyond the hierarchies, beyond the lists of greater and smaller, material and spiritual. You and I. The purpose of Torah is to discover that unifying energy within every single thing, to discover that the physical is a portal of connection to God in the same way as the spiritual is. For Rabbi Akiva, that was clear. And so for Rabbi Akiva, he had no problem coming back from a heightened spiritual state into day-to-day activities, because he understood that in the day-to-day activities, you can find the Ein Sof, you can find godliness in its infinite sense, just as you can in spirituality. He understood that to discover the fifth dimension is to harmonize every part of your life and not to compartmentalize and say, that's where I'm spiritual, that's where I'm pragmatic. As the Talmud tells us, a person has an area of 4 amos, 4 cubits around them, which is naturally considered to be their space. And Hasidus teaches that 4 amos area is actually the product of your yechida, the fifth dimension of your soul. The essence of who you are is all about influencing the four-dimensional environment around you. Most people think the soul is the part of you that allows you to transcend the world. But fifth dimensional thinking teaches you that the deepest part of your soul is there and was designed to allow you to affect, to transform, and to uplift the world. That is the ultimate purpose.